You're going to die. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. And when that moment comes, will you feel like you've truly been yourself? Or will you look back and realize you've spent your entire life trying to be someone else? This isn't about being perfect or having it all figured out. It's about a simple question. Have you lived authentically? Today we're diving into a powerful story that forces us to confront the uncomfortable truths about how we live, love, and connect. It's the story of a man facing his final days, wrestling with regret and realizing he may never have truly been seen. But it's also about hope, the kind of hope that says it's never too late to be who you really are. Why is it so hard to just be ourselves? Think about it. From the moment we're born, we're told who to be. Parents, teachers, friends, even strangers, all have their own ideas about what's right. We're praised for fitting in, for meeting expectations, for being good. And somewhere along the way, we start to lose track of where they end and where we begin. For John, the man in our story, this struggle consumed his entire life. On the surface, he was everything society says you should be. Likable, dependable, loved by everyone. But beneath that polished exterior was someone who felt like a stranger to himself, and it wasn't until he was lying in a hospice bed, staring death in the face, that he finally began to understand the cost of living for others instead of for himself. Let's go back to where it all started. John grew up in a home where approval was currency. Every good job, every pat on the back, every smile of approval felt like a tiny victory, but it came at a price. If he got a bad grade, showed anger, or did something unexpected, that approval vanished. So he learned to play the part. He became the perfect son, the perfect student, the perfect friend. But perfection is exhausting. And as John got older, the stakes only got higher. In college, he chose a major his parents approved of, even though he secretly dreamed of something else. At work, he stayed late and took on extra tasks, not because he wanted to, but because he couldn't bear the thought of disappointing his boss. In relationships, he molded himself into whatever he thought his partner wanted, afraid that being his true self might drive them away. Does any of this sound familiar? Maybe you're not as extreme as John, but think about it. How many times have you laughed at a joke you didn't find funny just to avoid an awkward moment? How many times have you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no? How often do you suppress your feelings, your thoughts, yourself, just to keep the peace? For John, these small sacrifices added up, and by the time he was diagnosed with a terminal illness, he was carrying a lifetime of regret. The turning point came during a conversation with his wife, Kate. She asked him a simple question, why did you marry me? And for the first time, John couldn't dodge the truth. He admitted that he had never been his true self. Not with her, not with anyone. He explained how he had spent his whole life trying to be liked, trying to fit in, trying to be good, and that he had fallen on his face. Kate's response was raw and honest. She was hurt, yes, but she also understood. She told John that he did what he knew how to do, that he was human, and then she gave him a challenge. There's still time. Let me see who you really are. That moment was a wake-up call. For the first time, John let go of the fear of judgment. He stopped trying to be the version of himself he thought people wanted, and started being the version he had always been. Deep down, John's story is a reminder that it's never too late to change. Yes, life is messy. Yes, we make mistakes. But at the end of the day, the only person you have to live with is you. So ask yourself, are you living for others? Or are you living for yourself? Are you trying to be liked? Or are you trying to be real? The truth is, no one can tell you who to be. That's something only you can decide. And the sooner you start living authentically, the sooner you'll experience the freedom and connection that come from being your true self. If this resonated with you, subscribe to this channel for more engaging videos like this and comment your thoughts.